Yeah, so after yesterday's match, we were talking about getting ourselves into a better rhythm early on in the match, and also establishing our hitters a little bit more and being a little bit more diverse with our offense, especially after having our pin hitters, especially Gabby having so many attempts compared to some of the other attackers. We wanted to kind of balance it out a little bit, and that was one of the goals going into this match. Establishing our rhythm with the first touch, and then trying to run a little bit more of a diverse offense. In order to do that, we had to establish our service receive, which was way more stable today compared to yesterday. But it was fun playing Moyne just because for years we didn't really had a city rivalry, so it's nice that all of our teams and all of our sports are competing against each other. So I really want to continue doing that in the years to come.
All right, we'll open up for questions.
Coach, congrats on getting these 3 wins this weekend. Compare yourself to maybe how you felt Friday afternoon till you do now. What differences do you notice? Do you think improvement, things like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it all started with that exhibition match against Buffalo. Seems so long ago, but it's only like a weekend ago, right? I think at this stage in the season, and this applies to every program in the country, you just want to play. You want to compete in order for you to establish a certain rhythm, connections with hitters and setters, but also get familiar with each other on the team, on the court, and also establish a relationship during competition between the coaching staff and the players, and then as much as you want to replicate that in practice, it's very hard to do. So we're very happy that we have this competition to do that.
Yeah, Coach, that was the first time since 2020 that the team held an opponent to under 10 points in a set. What did you see that went so well offensively and defensively in those first and third sets?
I thought we served really well, which really helped putting pressure on the Moyne and kind of slowing down the offense a little bit. They couldn't really get the middles established, which really helped us setting up our defense, and then really allowed us to stay in system and getting production from not just one or two players, from multiple players. So I think the tempo was really good, and that allowed us to put pressure on the Moyne.
Coach, Skylar got her first start tonight after sitting on the bench for the first 2 matches and coming into the game late. She had 9 kills, 10 digs. Can you explain the decision to start her tonight and how you thought she played?
Yeah, I think this year's roster really gives us a lot of depth in that outside position. We have 4 really good hitters that can come off and be in the lineup at any time and produce for us. So I'm really happy to see that from Skylar. But I mean, she has produced even coming off the bench for us, so it was just a matter of time for her to be in this position, and I'm happy for her performance tonight. Yeah.
Coach, how do you envision the games where you play tougher ACC opponents down the stretch?
I feel like we have 3 more weekends, to prepare for that, and the way we have established our non-conference schedule, we're gonna get tested every weekend, at least once or twice, against a tougher opponent, and I think that will really prep us to be ready for conference play. Obviously, the goal is to compete against the teams in the ACC, and we have not given up on that thought or anything like that. We're just on track to prep in order to be in that position.
Coach, you went on much greater runs today than you did yesterday's game. Ryder, what do you think propelled the runs?
I think the serving played a really big role. I think our serving was much more aggressive than the last 2 matches we played this weekend, and also more consistent. I think the error ratio was really positive for us, which really allowed us to put pressure and then go on those runs. Yeah.
Coach, I noticed today you guys are doing more, finesse than power on those third spikes. Is that something you guys talk about in practice?
Well, I think we wanted to change up the tempo a little bit. I think especially against Ryder, we were a little bit maybe a little one-dimensional. So we wanted to kind of create some more diversity there. Also, we knew like Lemoyne's defense is set, but they're not as good in movement as they are if the ball comes straight to them. So we wanted to create some scenarios where they really have to move in order to get a ball up.
You played Taya today for a full 3 sets in the 5-1 at center. How would you evaluate the way she played in those 3 sets?
I thought Thea did a tremendous job here. I think the key here is creating a rhythm, for the offense, and Thea did a very good job creating that rhythm from the get-go, which obviously it's a partnership between the attackers and the setters, but I thought she did a very good job, and that's why she's in that position for us.
Coach, after all 3 matches, you've talked about rhythm and trying to find that rhythm. What does that exactly look like for your squad?
Probably similar to what you saw today compared to the last 2 matches. More of an in sync movement between the attackers and the setters, but also between the defenders and the passes and the setter. So the movement between the touches is really important for us in order to establish a certain rhythm.
Coach, are there anything in these types of games that you can work on compared to like other games where you might have to stick to your game plan?
Absolutely. I think the mental aspect is really crucial in these matches. I think naturally, when you're up by a large amount of points, you can let down a little bit, maybe let down your guard. But this is a great opportunity for us to work on that. To make sure we stay sharp, we keep pressing the gas pedal, and stay aggressive.
We'll take 1 or 2 more for Coach.
Yeah, Coach, is there anything that the team can do to get into that rhythm early when you're looking at scouting or in warm-ups?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it all starts with a mindset, making sure we warm up with the right mindset. We pay attention to details. And then a lot also has to do with prep work, right? We talked about having stable service eve, tracking the service really helps with that, right? So a lot of the detailed work that you don't really see maybe in the first glance, that really helps you when you add all that up to create a good rhythm.
You played 3 matches in 3 days this weekend. As far as practice is concerned this week, how do you balance preparing for the teams you play next weekend and recovery?
Yeah, we played 3 matches in 3 days, which is actually a light schedule compared to the past, right? We used to play 3 matches in 2 days. Luckily, we were able to stretch that a little bit. We have a quick turnaround. We're going to play Albany on Thursday. Usually we would play them on a Friday, which is okay. We're going to monitor some of the things we do in practice, maybe change up some of the intensity, but also maybe play around with the duration of practice too in order to keep everybody fresh and ready to go for Thursday.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.